Chicago. Today, the New York Mets visit the Chicago Cubs. Mets Baseball 98 is brought to you by Jeep, the most awarded brand of 4x4s on earth. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Call 1-800-BUY-OMNI. And by Ford, expect more, get more. Visit your tri-state quality Ford store and see why there's more to afford. On this baseball afternoon in Chicago, two phenoms, Rick Reed, a man who was never supposed to make it, but he has, and 21-year-old Kerry Wood, a youngster who was supposed to make it, and he is.
Sheffield and Waveland. I say Sheffield and Waveland because normally we open at Clark and Addison. That's over there. Tim McCarver along with Gary Thorne. Say good afternoon, Gary Thorne.
Good afternoon, Gary Thorne.
Great seats, huh, buddy?
Yeah, but I can't get you to move over. Hey, Timmy.
Yeah.
What do you think of the wild card?
You mean... Well, the Mets are 2.5 back. The San Francisco Giants are 3 back, followed by the Phillies 4 back, and the Dodgers only 5 games behind the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, Timmy.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if we had to retake this piece?
I've got some more cards.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey, Gary, who's pitching today? I forgot.
How could you forget? We've been promoting this thing for a week and a half.
I forgot.
Kerry Wood, the young kid for Chicago, strikes all those guys out. And Rick Reed for the New York Mets. What do you think of that?
I love it. I love it.
See ya.
It might be. It could be Gary Thorne.
What, McCarver?
Which way's the wind blowing today?
I don't know. I can't see the flags from here.
But you can scoreboard watch this afternoon with us. We'll be right back for the start of today's game after this from Audi.
It defies every stereotype. Utility without the loss of luxury. Legendary Quattro all-wheel drive. The daring new Audi A6 Avant. Soccer practice will never be the same. Bud.
Why?
Oh, boy. Bud.
Why? Why?
Louie,
What?
just say the line.
That's what I'm doing.
No, you're not. You're going, why?
These are my interpretations of the part.
This isn't Shakespeare. You're replacing a stressed-out frog.
Hey, Frankie, you know what they say?
What?
There are no small parts, only small lizards.
Nobody says that.
I do. I say it all the time.
Bud.
Lies.
Bud.
Lies?
Caught in a sea of changing rates and offers, choosing the right calling plan can be a daunting task. Bell Atlantic is here to help. By first listening to your needs, then analyzing your calling patterns, Bell Atlantic will help you select the local and regional toll calling plan that best fits the way you call. For your home or your business, take it from someone who knows these waters. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
With a $3.99 a month lease, it's never been easier to get your hands on a Katera. But be forewarned, once you've experienced Katera's European performance and world-class luxury, you may never want to let go.
Don't let go.
Katera, it's the caddy that zigs.
See your authorized Cadillac Katera dealer today.
Welcome back to Chicago, everybody, and delighted to have our second roundtable discussion this year. Timmy and I are being joined by Tom Robson, who is the hitting instructor for the New York Mets. Even though he's left-handed, he's still a coach. Randy Neiman out in the bullpen for New York. Mookie Wilson, first base coach of the New York Mets, and the skipper Bobby Valentine. Bobby, start with you and just an overview here. Since the last time we had an opportunity to get you and the coaches together, the ball club now, it seems to me, is in a situation where every game is really precious in this battle for postseason play. Feel that way, and does the club feel that way?
Well, I hope they don't. I hope they think that every game is the same, and each game is an important game, but it's not any more important than the next one we're going to play. And, you know, right now we're going through a thing where we're not hitting as well as we should, and sometimes that has pressure mount. But, you know, when we won 7-0 and 6-0 the other day, it didn't seem like there was a problem, and everything was at ease. So hopefully we'll get everything going in the right direction.
Bobby, is it tough not to look ahead at all the doubleheaders in August that you have coming up?
Well, I guess. We have them coming up this week, so that's, you know, it's been tough not to look ahead to go to Milwaukee, you know, and get in there after a night game and play a doubleheader, but I think they're doing that too, and so it should be a real interesting stretch and a great time to get hot.
And a chance to talk to the coaches now about some of the fundamental things that are handled by them in their different departments. Let's start with Tom Robson, the hitting instructor, and we were talking before the game, before our broadcast here. What primarily do you try and do day to day with the hitters as you're working with them, particularly around the batting cage and inside taking batting practice?
Well, we come out early and we hit. Every hitter is a little different. You have to look for little things with them and handle them that way. I think just prepare for the game because it's such a long season. You're not into a big teaching mode, just little things. Keep them relaxed, be aggressive, using the whole field early, seeing the background, feeling good. I think essentially you have to feel good going into the game because now we're into, you know, 80th, 90th game. It's not like we're coming out of spring training. They know what they got to do. They know who they're facing that night, what they're going to look for, what they're going to try to do. I think when you're around the cage early, it's just some little things, just to feel good, hit the ball hard, get loose, get ready to play the game.
Sense of feeling good, also including the mental aspects of hitting too, right?
I think mental is even more important than the physical because you have to believe, you know, like you said, sometimes we do press a little bit. We would try to do too much. That's part of learning the mental part of the game. I mean, your swing is usually not going to change much from day to day. Some pitchers can make it change when we face some guys that are really good, but most of the time it does. We have to believe in ourselves, play the game, not worry about the outcome, and take one pitch, one at bat at a time, and that's what we're trying to do. BP, to me, just kind of prepares you. Get in there, use the whole field, feel good, let's go to the game.
What a major stride for baseball players if you could eliminate pressing, right, Mookie? If somebody could come up with a formula where you say, all right, this is the formula, and you won't press if you use that formula. Guys would make a lot of money, wouldn't it?
Oh, no question. I think there's a lot of money to be made in that. As a matter of fact, you have psychologists trying to figure that out, what it takes to make ball player click, what a ball player goes through when he's pressing, when he's doing good, when he's doing bad. And basically, I think you press when you start to have a little doubt in your abilities, and I think that is related to success and failure.
Mookie, we see you at first base all the time. I mean, that's where the folks all see you on television in the ballpark. But that's not all you're doing in your coaching position. Tell us about the other things you do with this ball club.
Oh, well, you know, I try to, you know, help out in any way that the club sees fit. Ball players come to you for a number of different things to ask about, you know, basically want to know about what it was like when you were winning, you know, and that type of stuff. But as far as my duties with Mets, you know, I try to work with the outfielders and the base runners as much as possible, and try to give them little pointers and things that could help them that extra step. Not gonna make them any quicker, but hopefully we hope to increase their, you know, reaction time. You know, there may be just a step quicker. They could break up that double play or beat that throw to second base. But there again, when pressure's out there and they start to feel the pressure, they just revert back to what they're comfortable doing. So, you know, it's kind of one thing's kind of affects the other.
What's your response to them when you answer them? That question of what it was like when you were winning here, or those winning years in the 80s?
Well, you know, my answer then was, you know, every game, you know, you remember every game, every pitch. You remember every fan that was yelling. You know, you remember every moment. And it's a fun time. And baseball should be fun. That's what it's all about. You know, it's winning and losing. And one, you know, you win, you're going to have fun. You lose, you're not going to have so much fun as far as the fans are concerned. But if ball players look at it as going out and having fun every day, and usually the best players will produce under those circumstances. You know, you just got to have fun and relax. And they saw a film of the 86 Mets and how we were clowning around because guys didn't worry about winning or losing. They just went out and had fun every day and things fell into place.
When we come back, talking about pressure, Randy Neiman deals with one of the most pressure-packed places in a ballpark. It's called the bullpen. Get some comments about what goes on out there right after this.
This
This week, the paper will be extra heavy for all the savings at McDonald's. Just look for these great money-saving coupons. You'll get big deals like a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwich for just 99 cents. So look for the insert in your Sunday paper or mailbox. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Upper hand, to enjoy an advantage over, to have the edge. As in emerge victorious, to finish first. Welcome to the 98 Honda Clearance. Don't you just love it when you win? Get 3.9% APR for 36 or 48 months on all 98 Civics.
My mind is less fuzzy.
Here's what real people think about Ginkgoba.
Ginkgoba has given me a sharpness and an alertness that I didn't have before.
I felt a remarkable difference.
Talked to my doctor about Ginkgoba. He said, take it, it will help your memory.
Clinical evidence shows the natural supplement Ginkgoba safely increases the flow of oxygen to the brain, sharpening concentration, mental focus, even helping to improve your memory.
Ginkgoba has helped me to think better.
I think Ginkgoba's helped clear my mind. It's just cleared the cobwebs out.
Think better. Think Ginkgoba.
Reese's Nutrageous. So loaded, you don't eat it, you survive it.
This week, the paper will be extra heavy for all the savings at McDonald's. Just look for these great money-saving coupons. You'll get big deals like a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwich for just 99 cents. So look for the insert in your Sunday paper or mailbox. Did somebody say McDonald's?
You deal in a place that's one of the most unusual in baseball. You spend half the time sitting around doing nothing, except watching the game. I say nothing. You're watching the game, but you're not involved in it. And then all of a sudden, at the most important juncture of a game, your people out there who you're dealing with in the bullpen are asked to do things. What is that like, and what are you doing out there in the course of the game with them?
Well, once the game gets underway, the primary thing that we try to do is prepare for that situation when it comes later in the game. It might come in the second inning, the fourth inning, or the seventh or eighth inning. You know, you never know that. And the guys that are accustomed to coming in early in the game obviously are preparing themselves, their body, as far as stretching and staying loose like that. The guys that might come later in the game will relax a little bit more early in the game, and then as the innings go by and it starts getting towards their time to come into a game, they'll get up and start stretching and everything else. But basically what we try to do is pay attention to the game and discuss hitters from the opposing team as they come up, their strengths, weaknesses, make sure that when we go into the ball game, we know that hitter inside and out and we're prepared to make the pitches. Now it just becomes a matter of execution.
See, I asked the question, then you asked the question. But he didn't have a question to ask. He looks at me as though I'm exactly right. That's how these roundtable discussions work. That's why you're the anchor. That's why I'm the anchor. Exactly. All right. Bobby, let me ask you, we've heard from each of the coaches in this group what they are supposed to be doing out on the field. I'm coming up with this as I speak,
It's good.
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
It's all practice.
It's all practice. What are you looking for as far as your work with the coaches? How much stuff do you do while the game is actually going on, where you're dealing with coaches about positioning of people or what's going on in the bullpen or hitters? Or is that all done before the game ever starts as far as you're concerned?
Oh, that's all done before the game, before it starts. Positioning the outfielders, Mookie has entire control of that, and that's, a little thing that we might go over, one or two hitters with a particular pitcher, but he goes over it with the outfielders before the game starts. They know what they're going to do when that pitcher is in the game and when that hitter's at the plate. Randy understands what he's doing with the entire bullpen. The only thing that we ever check with is who's available and who's not, and he's totally responsible for getting them ready. And Tom's totally responsible for the hitting duties of the team, as Bob Aptek is with the pitching. Now, we have our individual meetings early before a series. We might talk about a particular situation that might come up, but it's all the execution of the in-game stuff is done by the coaches, and they do a fabulous job. Mookie also handles all of the running. When he's out there, if he sees something, and I always felt when I was a third base coach and I begged Davey to let me do this when I was coaching for him, if I saw something, let me put the steal sign on, and we were very successful doing that. And I have the same thing with Mookie. If he sees something, if he feels it can happen right now, they don't have to wait for that to come from the bench, and he does a wonderful job with it.
I've had fans ask me, what does Mookie say to the base runners at first base? What do you say? Obviously, it changes with situations.
It changes with situations. I make sure, first of all, let you know the situation, who's hitting, the outs, and the lineup. And then I tell them to study the pitcher. Let's be ready, to move. Whether they move or not, it's going to depend on. My decision comes with the kind of leads. If they take an aggressive lead, and and they look comfortable, then I know that this guy has a good opportunity. We're not a very fast team, so we have to really rely on taking advantage of what the pitcher gives us. And I think for the runners that we have, we've done a pretty good job of that. So basically, that's what we talk about. And every guy comes over there is different. We use a variety of things keys that we go for off the pitcher. I can't tell you those because then,
Of course, everybody would know it.
Right. And also, I just to point out, there's a lot of things that he works with the base runners that you don't see because they don't do the wrong thing. He's preparing them, first and third, and one out. There's a ground ball to second baseman can't tag you. That has been done so that he doesn't get tagged. Well, when he doesn't get tagged, no one knows about it, and the run scores. If he gets tagged, then there was a mess up. But those things have not happened. Breaking up the double play, we get tendencies of where guys turn to double play, and he reminds them which side to slide on. So if it's first and third, we get a chance to break up a double play, as we've done about 8 times, and we have DP busters to show for it, which Rich Miller sends in from the minor leagues, and we call them in. And that's one of the things in the organization. And when those things happen, they totally go unnoticed. And when the 3 or 4 mistakes that we've had, that have been pretty blatant mistakes, they jump out at people, but all the other good things happen because they're well prepared.
Let me ask this a general question. Tom, maybe because you deal with this every day, maybe more than any other of the coaches. There's a feeling today, I think, that players are much more difficult to work with because they're making so damn much money. They're great athletes, and they just want to go about doing things their own way and do things as they see they should do them.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, too. But I think, especially in this club, even with Texas, when we were there, baseball players are like kids. I mean, they come out there, and they want to learn, and they got their little moments where they pout, and you have to get them back up. And every hitter is so different because there's so much failure in hitting. 300 hitters going to fail 70% of the time. But I think they're fine to work with because they're just like, this is a kid's game, and we get caught up in that, and it's not like, well, I make more money, so I don't have to listen to what you say. They want to learn to it. Sometimes it takes a while to bond with hitters or bond with certain players where you can really know what they're thinking, and that takes a little time when you come to a new team. But I haven't seen that, and the people I've dealt with have been great. I haven't really run into that.
We do have situations, though, as Tom had in Texas, where Pete Incavilla's father was his main hitting instructor. And I remember when I broke in, Bill Buckner's high school coach was his hitting instructor. So when Dixie Walker would tell him something, it would go in one ear and out the other, and he'd call up his high school hitting coach. And I don't think it's so much different now with some players, maybe on our team, well, not so much on our team, but around in baseball, where they think that this guy had the answer. He was the guru, and so things go here and go out there, and I'll try to do it my own way. And I think that's been age-old. I think it's been done forever when you played and when I played and when Mookie and Tom played, and I think it will be done forever regardless of the money that the guys are making.
If that would be the case, if somebody were more influential with a particular hitter than you were, would you make an effort to go to that particular person and find out what influence he has on?
If he was that influential and he was that, sure I would. If he could hit better,
a dad, a friend, or whatever.
Dad in my head. He can do it. That's right.
Right.
So you're right. But sometimes they're not there every day. The people that Bobby's talking about, they show up when they're going bad or something, and they'll give them one little tip, and they think that's what did it. Then you get caught up in that. So, there's a fine line there.
Oh, witch doctor cure doesn't really work.
Right, exactly. You're not there every day of 162 games. But if there's somebody really influential in their life and they can help them, why not?
Please.
Now, Randy was very concerned when we started this broadcast that we were going on without having said anything to him about the questions that were going to be asked. And have we done okay? Even though we're both left-handed, we've done all right? Okay, good. Keep on throwing. Guys, thank you very much, Tom, Randy, Mookie, and the skipper. Thanks, delighted to have you all with us here for our baseball roundtable discussion. And we'll be back to Wrigley Field in just a minute.
Summer means clearance at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Clearance means big factory authorized cash back. Get $1,000 cash back on Chrysler Sebring Coupe and get low lease rates on Sebring Convertible. Clearance means bigger cash back. Get $1,500 cash back on Chrysler Cirrus, ranked best entry midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Or get $1,500 cash back on Plymouth Neon. Summer means clearance. Clearance means savings at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
It is what everybody has been waiting for, this matchup. Kerry Wood, everybody in Chicago, and we hope everybody in New York. Everybody may be hyping it a bit too much, but this young man who turned 21 on June 16th is some story here in Second City. Strike one to Brian McRae leading it off. Ball inside, 1-1 to McRae. The Mets have won 6 of their last 7. A tough loss yesterday. The home run by Glenn Allen Hill. And the breaking ball is low to McRae. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kerry Wood has not been beaten at Wrigley Field this year. He's 6-0. And the fastball is low, 3-1.
And if anything will hurt him, Timmy, this is it. Falling behind hitters and surrendering some walks. When he's had a couple of bad outings, it's been because of that, and you can understand still working on control at that young age of 21.
Fouled out of play, and you'll see a lot of that when players make contact, fouling it back the other way. A full count to McRae. And speaking of bases on balls, 64 walks in 114 and a third innings for Kerry Wood from Irving, Texas. Ball 4. So McRae, the leadoff base runner here in the first.
And let's check the rest of the lineup, brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer. Lenny Harris at third, John Olerud at first. Mike Piazza is doing the catching batting cleanup. Todd Hundley in left field will hit fifth. Carlos Baerga at second base. Butch Husky will be in right field. Louis Lopez, the shortstop for Ray Ordonez today, and Rick Reed on the mound for the Mets.
See if Bobby Valentine plays it by the book against the young phenom. Or does he bunt early? No sign of bunting there. 1 ball to Lenny Harris. Lenny starting at third base this afternoon. A lot of times when you face an unusual pitcher with unusual talents, Gary, you will resort to unusual strategy.
Stolen bases, a lot of them against Wood. 10 for 19 by the opposition in his starts, because he's learning how to hold runners on base. And McRae had a huge lead before that first pitch was delivered to the second batter, Lenny Harris.
6'5", 230 pounds, Kerry Wood. Outside corner, strike one. 1-1 to Lenny Harris.
What a road trip for the New York Mets to me. No matter what happens today, I mean, the worst they can be is 5-2 in a road trip where they had 2 doubleheaders and won them both. They've got an opportunity to go home 6-1 from Milwaukee and Chicago. I mean, this is a phenomenal road trip already for this club at a most opportune time.
Throw back to first, and McRae just back. And the first 2 times that the Mets have swept doubleheaders on the road, more than one on the road since 1974. 24 years. High. Ball 2, 2-1. We'll see if Bobby Valentine puts the runner in motion, but I would imagine that Wood, because of his wildness, because he throws high fastballs, would be a difficult guy to hit and run against.
You never know where the pitch is going to be.
Right. And if it is in the strike zone, often it's up. Like that one. Ball 3. 3-1 now to Harris.
The interesting contrast today, of course, will be that you've got this strikeout pitcher, this youngster, flamethrower, the great curveball fastball. On the other side, Rick Reed, the great control pitcher who doesn't overpower anybody but never walks anyone.
There goes the runner, and this one fouled away. A full count now to Lenny Harris. I don't think it's overstating it to say that even this early, Kerry Wood is Chicago's answer to Doc Gooden in New York.
Don't think there's any question. Absolutely right.
Matter of fact, Gooden took his first loss, his first major league loss here at Wrigley Field after winning in Houston in 1984. Full count to Harris. There goes McRae, breaking ball, lifted to left field. Rodriguez is there, and he makes the play. McRae scampering back to first, one out, and that'll bring up John Olerud. Take a look at the rest of the defense for the Cubs. You saw Rodriguez in left. He is flanked by Brant Brown, Sammy Sosa in right, an excellent outfield. Jose Hernandez at third, Jeff Blauser the shortstop, Manny Alexander at second base. Mark Grace has won 4 Gold Gloves at first, and Tyler Houston behind the plate. Olerud with a home run and a double in yesterday's game. Enters the game batting .328. Got an interesting point saying Kerry Wood is working on his move at the big league level. He's right out of high school, graduated in 1995, and you know they didn't have many runners against him in high school. Overpowering. Fastball is high, ball 1.
Or in the minors where what he did was strike everybody out, Timmy. I mean, he struck out 329 batters in 273 minor league innings pitched. So he's just never worried about it. I mean, if a guy got on, he didn't care because he was probably going to strike the side out anyway. So he just kind of forgot about runners.
High, ball 2, 2-0. So Wood has fallen behind the first 3 hitters. McRae walked, and then on a 3-2 pitch, Lenny Harris flied to left field. 2-0 to Olerud.
Sorry, Timmy. I just think it's interesting. You pointed out he's 6-0 at home. His ERA is 2.3. He's a fly ball pitcher in a park generally where fly balls in the summertime end up on the street.
Well, there's a fly ball, and that's an answer. Fly balls with Kerry Wood pitching. You're hitting the ball back toward the middle of the plate, and you're not getting full extension. He throws too hard, the upper 90s. So the fly balls are more the routine fly balls than the ones with distance. 2 outs.
Like that one was. And today, wind kind of blowing across today, off the lake and in more than out here at Wrigley Field today. You see those famous flags out there atop that famous scoreboard. Made less famous today by our opener.
A lot of fun as Mike Piazza takes a fastball, strike 1. By the way, folks, we did tape that session on Tuesday of last week, realizing that we were going to have 15 minutes to fill. And the coaches segment, obviously not the segment in the scoreboard. That was done earlier this morning, but the coaches segment, along with Bobby Valentine, was taped last Tuesday. So since that evening, the Mets have won 6 of 7. Ground ball. Manny Alexander fielding it from the shortstop side. Throws out Piazza. The Mets fail to score in the first against Kerry Wood. We'll be back after this from Acura.
It hushes highways and reduces wind to a whisper. It's as quiet as you want it to be. It's steering wheel mounted audio controls that let you live your life like a movie and score your own soundtrack. It's a 210 horsepower performance, and you've got front row seats. It's the RL from Acura. During the Summer Sales Classic, lease the 3.5 RL for $469 a month. The Acura Summer Sales Classic.
Alfred, come here. Run over to Pizza Hut. Check out that new Fiesta Taco Pizza. Becky, check on Alfred. Cece, Victor, check on Alfred, Becky. Lou. No, you're Lou.
Only Pizza Hut has our new Fiesta Taco Pizza. A thin, crispy crust topped with beef or grilled chicken and all your favorite taco toppings, even salsa. So fresh, you gotta eat it here. The best pizzas under one roof.
They're not coming back.
Ship your package in 2 days with FedEx. You run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 days with UPS.
you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 to 3 days with priority mail. And there's just one price zone.
So, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Rick Reed, 11-6. His last outing was against Pittsburgh last Tuesday night when he beat the Buccos 4-0.
And the Cubs lineup he'll face, brought to you by your Jeep and Eagle dealer. Brad Brown leads it off in center field. Jose Hernandez at third. Home run hitter Sammy Sosa right field bats third. Mark Grace the cleanup hitter. Henry Rodriguez good power in left field. Jeff Blauser starting at shortstop today. Tyler Houston doing the catching, batting seventh. Former Met Manny Alexander at second base. And Kerry Wood the pitcher.
The defense for the Mets. Todd Hundley once again in left field. His 13th start in left. Brian McRae in center. Butch Husky to right fielder. Lenny Harris at third base. And with Ray Ordonez out of there, Luis Lopez once again starting at short for the second day in a row. Carlos Baerga at second. John Olerud at first. And Mike Piazza behind the plate. The umpires for this afternoon's game, Jerry Crawford, the crew chief, C.B. Buckner, Bob Davidson, and Tom Hallian rounded out. And Brant Brown tries to bunt off Rick Reed, and he bunts it foul, 0-1. Brown with remarkable numbers considering he has missed a month of the season, from June 26th to July 25th, a sprained left shoulder. He fouls it back, 0-2 to Brant.
The Chicago Cubs team obviously battling the New York Mets and a host of others for that wild card spot. And actually, for Chicago, they're only 3.5 behind Houston for the division lead.
Fly ball, left field. Hundley will be tested and can't get to it. That wind blowing not only toward the line, but also blowing out in left field. And that was not a misplay. I think that's going to be a double against anybody. But any fly ball that lands out there, I think people are more inclined to say Hundley misplayed it.
That's what makes it so hard for Todd. I mean, that's what's going to be said every time because the spotlight is on him. The wind's blowing the ball towards the line. On the warning track, very difficult to tell how far that ball will carry. You don't play regularly out there, and even if you do, balls like this are very tough to judge. Because what you really have to do is get back into that well and curve with the wall and come in on the ball. But that's not easy when the wind's blowing it towards the foul line.
Here's Jose Hernandez, the third baseman. 12th double of the year for Brant Brown. Hernandez, a home run in yesterday's game, his 16th of the year. And that's in only 284 at-bats. 54 RBIs. For a man who's played 6 positions this year.
I was going to say, Timmy, this Cubs team, unlike the Mets, they make their hay by hitting and hope the pitching will get them through. Mets, of course, have been just the opposite. They rely on their pitching to get them there and hope their hitting will come around and supply enough runs.
Interesting distinction, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I mean, two teams playing it different ways, going for the same object, postseason play.
And the Mets trail the Cubs by 2.5 in the wild card as Bobby Valentine and his counterpart, Jim Riegelman. Fly ball, left field, easy play for Hundley. Halfway was Brown. So a non-productive out by Hernandez, and here comes Sammy Sosa. Tremendously strong, has hit more home runs to right field this year than at any other time in his career. He's really learned to lay off a lot of pitches out of the strike zone, and he has gone the other way a lot more than in past years.
Talking about MVPs the other day, Timmy, Sammy Sosa's not going to win it, but he deserves some consideration. I mean, he's up there in the top 10 in home runs, RBIs, runs, total bases, hits. on-base percentage. I mean, he's really having a spectacular year for the Chicago Cubs team.
I'm not so sure you'd count him out yet.
I don't think you count him out.
You think McGuire is out?
No,
offhand, first 4 months of the season.
We tried this the other day when we were, and I am not opposed to voting for a pitcher. I would vote for Greg Maddux at this point. Right now, if somebody said vote for an MVP in the National League, that's who I'd vote for.
Chipper Jones, the brave third baseman. You have Andres Galarraga along with McGuire.
You got Dante Bichette, who's having a great year, and Greg Vaughn certainly deserves consideration. San Diego would not be where they are were it not for the season Vaughn is having. The National League MVP, I think, right now is a very tough call. I think the votes are going to be spread out all over the place when it's finally done at the end of the regular season.
1-1 to Sammy Sosa. No score here in the bottom of the first, and this one lifted to right field and out of play. 1-2 to Sosa. Greg Vaughn leading the National League in total bases, but not home runs. He hit his 37th last night. San Diego, by the way, will be at Shea Stadium on Tuesday night for a 3-game series, all-night games.
We'll have that ball game to open up that series on Tuesday night.
Andy Ashby against Tadeo Nomo Tuesday night. Sosa fouls another one back, still 1-2 to Sammy Sosa with Grant Brown on at second base. One out here in the first, and there are the Padres leading the Western Division of the National League by a healthy margin.
Flags out there always tell you what the standings are, so if you missed all the scores from the night before, you come to the ballpark, you can find out what the standings are. San Diego's up by 13 over the Giants.
Grounder left side, scooped by Harris, and he throws out Sosa. So after the leadoff double, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Mark Grace to face Reed.
Well, we're talking about the hot hitters. San Diego's Greg Vaughn right now. That 364 mark. You see the home runs, 15 RBIs his last 12 games. Andy Ashby will start that game Tuesday. Last 4 starts, 2-1-5. Joey Hamilton. I remember Mel Stottlemyre 3-4 years ago talking about Joey Hamilton, said, remember this kid's name. He is going to be one of the fine young starters in baseball, and Hamilton's doing it.
Mark Grace, 6th in the National League in hitting, a .324 average. 1 point behind teammate Mickey Morandini. Morandini, by the way, hit by a Bobby Jones fastball in Tuesday's doubleheader. And this is the 2nd game in a row that he's missed. 1 ball to Grace. Tapped in front of the plate. Piazza will have to hurry, and he gets his man. So after the leadoff double, the Cubs do not score. And after 1, no score. Back after this from nobody beats the Wiz.
Every beat of my heart, every breath I take, you're the only one. What more can I say? Oh, girl.
The amazing Sony Mini Disc is the digital way to record your music on a disc and personalize your favorite mix. Sony MD lets you digitally record your favorite music and take it with you wherever you go. Take it with MD. Available at Nobody Beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
Let's crunch some numbers on America's best-selling minivan, Dodge Caravan. Right now, every Caravan comes with remarkably low 1.9 financing, or up to $1,500 cash back on Grand Caravan. Or on this Caravan, subtract $1,250 cash back, hit total, and your price is under $16,900, making it America's lowest-priced minivan. And imagine what all these savings can do for your bottom line. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
International Week continues with Jewish Night on Tuesday, August 4th. Show up at Shea early for a pregame concert by David Dudu Fisher. The first 25,000 fans will receive a pin commemorating Israel's 50th Jubilee. Be here when the Mets take on the San Francisco Giants as the race for the wild card heats up. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
Great pitching matchup this afternoon, and Gary and I talking between innings. We were talking about, Gary said Greg Maddux certainly a mention for the most valuable player, and obviously no score here after one. But you look at the wins in the National League. Andy Ashby and Tommy Glavine lead the National League in wins with 14. Maddux is second with 13. And then you have Shane Reynolds, Kevin Tapani, who won his 12th game yesterday. Kevin Brown with 12, and then Kevin Millwood and Rick Reed with 11. Andy Ashby third in earned run average as Todd Hundley faces Kerry Wood and takes a strike.
Even if you're just talking about the Cy Young Award winner in the National League,
right.
It's really tough. Maddux is far from an automatic. Glavine's numbers are almost identical to his, and as you were saying, Ashby is ahead of him in wins right now. He's got one more win than Maddux does.
Andy Ashby starts on Tuesday night for San Diego. 0-2 to Hundley. Outside, ball one.
We'll have that game. Obi wanted us to say we have that game Tuesday.
We will have that game on Tuesday night. We'll be on the air at 7:30. First pitch 7:40. Breaking ball, strike three on Hundley. The first strikeout for Kerry Wood, one out here in the second.
And there's the pitch that makes him almost impossible to hit when he's on. You've got the mid-90s fastball that's a riser. And then he throws one of the great breaking balls in the game. He's got a curveball that moves as much as any pitch I think I've ever seen at times. It's down and in, and it will sometimes move. It looks like 4 feet before it's done, and it's an incredible pitch he throws with that fastball.
Carlos Baerga takes ball one, 1-0 to Baerga. That breaking ball is of the sweeping variety, and it's unpredictable. Sometimes it goes straight down. Other times it will act as a slur. But you talk to the hitters, and they tell you not only is Kerry Wood legitimate, but that curveball is very, very difficult to pick up because it breaks late. That's why Hundley took it.
You watch the movement on this pitch. Watch how it both moves in towards him and goes down and late. Now he's ready to swing, and all of a sudden thought it was going to be up and out of the strike zone. It ends up down around his knees.
And down under the knees is the fastball to Carlos Baerga. 1-2 to Carlos. Fouled away. Breaking ball, base hit right field. So Baerga has the first base hit of the game for the Mets. Just out of the reach of Mark Grace. Baerga, one out base runner.
So Carlos continues his fine series against the Cubs, and also a very fine road trip. Now he waits here. That ball breaking down and in towards him, but you got it over the fat part of the plate. Grace trying to haul it in with that gold glove he carries around at first, but not that time. I think that time when Wood got that too far out over the plate.
Possibly, yeah. And of course Baerga handles that low pitch fairly well. Butch Husky squaring to bunt. Takes a fastball high. I don't think Butch fooled third baseman Jose Hernandez. Breaking ball is inside and high. 2 balls, no strikes to Butch Husky.
Other thing that makes it so difficult to hit against this youngster, he has hit 10 batters, second most in the league. He's legitimately wild at times. Trying to sit on stuff. Good luck.
Conveniently wild, as they say in the lexicon. There's the breaking ball in for a strike. Husky thought it was low. Jerry Crawford brings up strike one. 2-1.
Now you're looking at this breaking ball against a right-handed batter. So he starts inside. So you're kind of leaning away as Husky did there. Then it's got so much movement. Comes back, catches the inside corner.
Another breaking ball lifted into center field. Grant Brown makes the play. 2 outs here in the second. That'll bring up Luis Lopez, the shortstop. I think Kerry Wood stared off the breaking ball, or stared off the fastball. Then a lot of pitchers don't want to shake off the pitch, so they'll just stare into the catcher until he changes the signs. And I think the young Kerry Wood will understand after a while that if you throw a 2-0 or a 3-1 breaking ball for a strike, generally speaking, the next pitch should be a fastball, because what you've done, as Lopez takes a strike, what you've done, you've actually slowed the bat down from a figurative standpoint by throwing the breaking ball behind in the count or in a fastball situation. So now the hitter has the slow bat in his mind, and the fastball's on top of it. Low, ball 1, 1-1.
The other thing that hitters will look for generally against a pitcher like this is first pitch fastball to hit. But the trouble again you run into with him is that he's so wild, he'll fall behind 1-0 and then will go to the breaking ball on a 1-0 or even a 2-0 count sometimes.
As he did to Husky.
Yeah, and then
right.
you're really screwed up as a hitter.
There's a fastball strike, 1 and 2 to Lopez. When Gooden first came up, Gooden's pitches, for the most part, were predictable. You knew he was going to throw the fastball, but you couldn't catch up to it. You had to make him get it down. But Wood is so much further advanced in that he can get his breaking ball over behind in the count, as he's shown this inning. And Lopez is down on strike. Second strikeout for Kerry Wood. No score after 1.5. Back after this from Budweiser.
So, I read an article that says they think about it every 8 seconds.
I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like the only thing Dave ever wanted.
They have one-track minds. Must be something biological or genetic.
Men, they're all the same.
Hey. You read my mind.
This is Imagine TV.
You are late for the sale.
My dog ate my Mercury. There's no excuse not to check out a $379 lease for 33 months on Mercury Mountaineer. Now even more comfortable with no charge leather. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now for a $379 lease on a loaded Mountaineer that'll satisfy your appetite for extras. Till next time, imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Chez Joseph.
Really? My place is always booked.
Well, Shay's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get $179 Ericsson 388, the latest in digital wireless, for $49.
Brad Pitt, Juliette Lewis, and David Duchovny star in the UPN 9 premiere of California. Tonight at 8, only on the UPN 9 movie.
Beautiful day here in Wrigley. Chicago's Wrigley Field. This ballpark built back in 1912. Actually, the starting of the building started in 1912, actually built for play in 1914. Fenway Park, Tiger Stadium, both starting play in 1912. The Chicago Cubs is part of the Federal League. They built this ballpark to house the Cubs. The Federal League was disbanded after the 1915 season. Then in 1916, the Cubs became members of the National League once again. 355 down the line. That's Waveland Avenue right there. And then 461 in the background. That's across the street. And the wind is helping balls hit into left field. There's a 461 sign. That's across the street, across Waveland Avenue. And they even have the K signs up at the house across the street. Rodriguez grounds it hard through the middle, but there's Lopez. One out here in the second. We have already seen the second baseman make a play 5 feet on the side, on the shortstop side of second, and now a shortstop who makes it 5 feet on the second base side.
Made a center fielder's play right here. The Mets had it defense perfectly against Henry Rodriguez. That's it right up the middle. I mean, literally off the mound. Look where Lopez is. Second base side, way over. And an easy play for him because he was so far over.
So nice play by Lopez. Here's Jeff Blauser, who takes a fastball strike on the corner. Blauser batting only .235. Signed as a free agent with Chicago last winter. And the second pitch outside, 1-1 to Jeff. No score here in the second inning. Each side with a hit. Foul back, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Blauser. Jeff, a terrific year last year, batting in that 8-hole for Atlanta, 17 home runs, batting over 300. I think his market would be higher when he claimed free agency. He fouls this one back, but he went to the Atlanta Braves. John Schuerholz, their general manager. He and his agent asked for $6 million over a 3-year period. John Schuerholz signed Walt Weiss as a free agent the next day, and Blauser was left dangling and had to sign, in this day and age, a paltry contract of $4 million for 2 years with the Cubs.
32-year-old, .268 career hitter. Good defensive shortstop. But Atlanta plays for real on the field and in the front office.
They make few mistakes. Fly ball, right field, shallow. Baerga back, now Husky in. And Husky makes the play. There are 2 outs here in the second with catcher Tyler Houston coming up.
Just making sure they don't have a collision there with that wind blowing in. That's why Baerga even had a potential play on that ball, blowing that ball from right over to left. But of course, for the outfielder, much easier to make that play coming in, and that was Huskies to take all the way.
Tyler Houston batting .269, 5 home runs on the year, and he takes outside, ball 1. With the wind blowing in like it is right now, Husky is playing more shallow than he normally would. Same with McRae in center, and Hundley is deeper than he normally would play. With Bobby Valentine's suggestion to Todd to play deep so you're coming in on most of the balls, most of the fly balls, and that should make it easier. 2-0 to Houston, ball 3.
McRae's out there directing traffic in center. He just hauled Hundley over towards him. And interesting, Brian is moving in on the pitch. He's literally walking in as the pitch is delivered. Never seen him do that before.
Houston walks. That'll bring up the ex-Met Manny Alexander. You want to be as mobile as you can, and no outfielder in this game knows Wrigley Field better than Brian McRae.
And with Todd Hundley out there and left, not knowing the outfield at all, obviously, he has to help along with Mookie Wilson on the bench and getting the positioning correct. And if he's moving one, then he's also got to move Husky. So he's out there constantly talking to the outfielders on either side of him.
Manny Alexander takes strike 1. That, by the way, a rare 4-pitch walk for Rick Reed. Only his 22nd walk of the year. So Houston on at first. 2 outs here in the second inning. It's a scoreless ball game, and Houston's picked off at first base. A quick move by Reed gets Houston. That's really what the Cubs want to do this year.
Get Houston.
Get Houston. Back after this from Nissan.
Announcing an amazing opportunity from your Nissan retailer. Instead of waiting till the end of the model year, Nissan is clearing out the 98s right now and offering $2,000 customer cash or 0% APR financing on every new 98 Nissan. That's $2,000 or 0% APR on any Nissan, including the luxurious Maxima or the roomy and powerful Altima. This early model year-end clearance is only for a limited time. So for the best selection, visit your Nissan retailer today. These special offers end August 3rd.
Caught in a sea of changing rates and offers, choosing the right calling plan can be a daunting task. Bell Atlantic is here to help. By first listening to your needs, then analyzing your calling patterns, Bell Atlantic will help you select the local and regional toll calling plan that best fits the way you call. For your home or your business, take it through someone who knows these waters. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
Summer means clearance at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Clearance means big factory authorized cash back. Get 1,000 cash back on Chrysler Sebring Coupe and get low lease rates on Sebring Convertible. Clearance means bigger cash back. Get 1,500 cash back on Chrysler Cirrus, ranked best entry midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Or get 1,500 cash back on Plymouth Neon. Summer means clearance. Clearance means savings at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
Just a beautiful day here at Wrigley Field. Great matchup. Kerry Wood against Rick Reed. Predictably no score after 2. We mentioned Rick Reed's 4-ball walk to Tyler Houston. What he couldn't do at the plate, he got it first.
That wasn't even close over there.
No.
Well, when you're in any time, but when you're in a pennant race like the Chicago Cubs are, those things can't happen. I mean, I know they do, but you just got to be alive.
It's not like Tyler Houston's going anywhere as the first pitch to Rick Reed is inside, ball 1.
You might as well stick right to the bag. I mean, keep your foot on it with Tyler Houston. All you're going to do is run when somebody hits it.
Softball rules. 2-0 to Reed.
Watch how this wasn't even close. Look, Houston, look, flat-footed. He wasn't watching. He never saw Reed turn.
Hands on his knees, too. Remember how we've talked so many times that you do not take a lead off of first base with your hands on your knees. You have to take the hands up and get back. Clearly picked off then. Rick Reed grounds toward third. Tough play. Hernandez scooped by Grace. How many times have we seen him do that? 1 out. Folks, today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer. Major League Baseball. Along with Gary Thorne, Tim McCarver here at Wrigley Field. Last time the Mets will play Chicago here in Chicago this year.
Well, the last time Chicago's going to play an Eastern Division team. You believe that? They're all done with the East after this game.
Baseball's just got to go to an unbalanced schedule, you would think, to where the teams in their own divisions plays teams in their own division the last 6 weeks of the season. 1-0 to McRae. Bryant takes a strike. 1-1. Mets winning a doubleheader on Friday, 5-0, 7-3. They lost yesterday 3-2 on an 8th inning home run by Glenn Allen Hill on a 3-0 pitch from John Franco. 2 balls and a strike to McRae. 3-1. Hit deep to right field. This ball is gone, and the Mets take a 1-0 lead on a down and in fastball. Home run number 15 for McRae, and the Mets are on the board.
That'll be the 8th home run surrendered by Kerry Wood. They throw the ball back here in Chicago, as is the tradition. Wood has given up 8 home runs on the year, and only 3 have been hit by left-handers. And that was tagged into the wind.
Lenny Harris now. Low fastball, predictable, and did McRae ever turn on it?
Right there. That was a straight fastball. And he nailed that baby into the well out there in right field. And for Brian McRae, he dropped the bat with authority and crossed the plate with authority because he's doing it here in Chicago. It's always a little sweeter.
He went 4 for 10 in Friday's game. And what a kick start. 7-game hitting streak. 5 home runs. In his last 11 games. The breaking ball. Harris goes too far, I thought, but he did not. Tom Hallion says he held up. Jerry Crawford went up with his right hand, and I think he was asking for Hallion's help on that pitch. 3-1 to Harris. Fly ball, left field. Rodriguez there. And for the second time in a row, Harris flies to left.
Take a look and see on the pitch before that one that was hit for the fly ball out. Tremendous breaking ball down and in. Pretty good wrist action to hold that up. See, he was looking for help down to third that time. Tyler Houston wanted him to check.
Here's John Olerud. Fly to center field his first at bat. There's the area where McRae hit the home run. Actually, McRae's home run came on a pitch below the knees, it looked to me.
We were checking, Timmy, on the home runs given up by Wood here. As a fly ball pitcher pitching at Wrigley, I was wondering, how's he do here? Well, that's only the second home run hit off him here at Wrigley Field this year.
And this is his 9th start at Wrigley.
He's 6-0 here, as you mentioned earlier, and only 2 home runs off him in his home ballpark so far.
Most recently by that man on a fastball that was about ankle high. 3-1 to Olerud.
It's like a pea coming in. You watch how this just sticks to a level trajectory. When that happens at the major league level, hitters will hit it.
Line drive, base hit, Olerud. So John with the 3rd Met hit. Singles to left. Here's Mike Piazza.
This is not a Kerry Wood kind of day. Remember, Kerry Wood leads the league in strikeouts per 9 innings, 10.3. He's only got 2 strikeouts so far. He's fallen behind hitters in this game, out of the strike zone. And the Mets are getting into a situation where they can predict the fastball pitch. And they're hitting it.
That's what happens when you fall behind. John Olerud, a single to left on a 3-1 count. Brian McRae, a home run on a 3-1 count. Today in Cleveland, we mentioned Doc Gooden, and the Detroit Tigers are ahead of Cleveland and Gooden as Blauser feels the ball, not the bat, over to Alexander for the 3rd out. 1-0 Mets. They're on the board. Brian McRae's 15th home run. Back after this from Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Every beat of my heart, every breath I take, you're the only one. What more can I say? Oh, girl.
The amazing Sony Mini Disc is the digital way to record your music on a disc and personalize your favorite mix. Sony MD lets you digitally record your favorite music and take it with you wherever you go. Make it with MD. Available at Nobody Beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
With a $3.99 a month lease, it's never been easier to get your hands on a Katera. But be forewarned, once you've experienced Katera's European performance and world-class luxury, you may never want to let go.
Don't let go.
Katera, it's the caddy that zigs.
See your Cadillac Tri-Statesman authorized Katera dealer.
believe in brotherhood.
International Week continues with African American Day on Sunday, August 2nd. All fans will get a Negro League cap free, courtesy of Chase.
This Negro League cap is from the Newark Eagles.
Be here when the Mets take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
Show up at Shea for African Americans.
The Mets drawing first blood. It took them 3 innings to do it. Brian McRae's 15th home run, his 44th RBI, coming against his old team, and it's always sweeter when it's against the team from which you were traded.
Ball players may say otherwise when they're talking to the press, but you saw Brian McRae's reaction when he hit it and when he came to the plate after rounding the bases. There was no question. This one had the sweet smell of, oh, I love that home run.
As they say on Saturday Night Live, I love it, 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 I love it. Here's Manny Alexander, who was the batter. The count, no balls and a strike to Manny now. And that was the count when Tyler Houston inexplicably was picked off first base with 2 out in the second inning. 0-1 to Alexander. Rick Reed has given up 1 hit, a leadoff double to Brant Brown. Breaking ball. Reed. 1 out.
Now I want to correct myself, Timmy, in the numbers I had. I gave you Curt Schilling's as far as strikeouts per 9 innings. It's even better for Wood than what I mentioned. 13.1 strikeouts per 9 inning for Kerry Wood so far this season. So with only 2 so far in this game, well behind in that department.
And in the history of this franchise, the Chicago Cubs owned for years by P.K. Wrigley and the Wrigley chewing gum folks. In the history of this franchise, no pitcher other than Rick Sutcliffe in 1984 has averaged a strikeout per inning. Sutcliffe did it when he won the Cy Young Award, going 16-1 in 1984. Cubs winning the Western Division or the Eastern Division of the National League. Breaking ball. Nice play by Harris, and he throws out Wood. What a play by Lenny Harris. 2 outs.
Wood has had 6 hits and 38 at-bats. He can handle the bat up there. Lenny Harris in for Edgardo Alfonso at third base. Had one that was a worm cutter right there. That stayed right on the ground on him. That's why you get the glove down, keep it down, and come up with the ball rather than trying to do it the other way. So you don't get these kind of ground balls skidding underneath the glove. Lenny Harris had it right down in the dirt, and that's exactly where the ball stayed for him.
Brant Brown, the batter. Double number 12 on the year, his first time up, and he hammers this one foul. 0-1.
Watch the positioning. Lenny Harris going over, getting the glove down. That's a great stop. That ball was hit hard, and a fine throw after coming up. He had plenty of time here because the ball was hit so hard.
You're right, Gary. What made that play difficult was the ball staying down. Another curveball and another foul ball. 0-2 to Brant Brown. One 0 New York. Mets head home to begin a 10-game homestand or 9-game homestand starting on Tuesday night. 1-2 to Brown. I was right the first time. It is 10 games. Brown, a good cut. He fouls it back. I was talking to Brand near the batting cage earlier. Gary, you and I were down there, and I said, how'd you do on your rehab program? He said, well, I was down there, joined the Iowa club. I was down for 3 days, but I was in Las Vegas at the time. And so he was sent to Las Vegas. He said that is not a good place to be sent on a rehab. High ball 2-2-2.
They can give you arm a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. The one-armed bandits out there.
He had a sprained left shoulder when he went down, had a sprained right shoulder when he came back.
Fly ball left field. Hundley under it, and he makes the play. So Gene Orza, the Associate Counsel for the Players Association, is listening. No more rehab stints in Las Vegas. 1-0 Mets back after this from Dodge.
We wanted the new Dodge Intrepid to be so powerful, so nimble, so sleek, and so slippery that it would fairly scream, "Drive me." Car and driver must have heard it because they drove it. Then they named Intrepid one of the best. Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again. Lease a well-equipped Intrepid for as low as $289 a month.
This is the line. This is the movie that crosses it.
Look, it's fat liposuction down to Marlon Brando's. Oh, no. What am I doing here? Oh, it's all salty and warm. Oh, why would I do this?
Basketball.
Oh, this guy ate a lot of pork.
Rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Carino avanza por el medio campo. Pasa para Garbacho que busca un hombre sin marca. Buen pase para Lunetti. Uy, le cometen falta. Brea con la pelota, toca para Pérez. Avanza Pérez, la domina y busca el hueco. Amaga por izquierda, va por la derecha. Viene. Amaga por izquierda otra vez. Patea y viene.
It's Your Money, August 28th, only on UPN 9.
1-0 Mets on a home run by Brian McRae. And partner, if Todd Hundley gets that same type fastball, he can hit one farther than McRae.
And he wanted it right there. He went after that big heater from Kerry Wood. Todd Hundley called out on strikes and a breaking ball his first time up. Baerga and Husky will follow. Wood giving up the home run to Brian McRae in the third inning. Chases it again. That one down and in on him, and quickly an 0-2 count. We have Rick Reed, who's got the 6th best ERA in the league, starting for the Mets, 2.74, and Kerry Wood, the 9th best at 3.23, starting for the Cubs. Great matchup. Foul back, Todd Hundley. Todd got a treat yesterday, not only being back here in Chicago, but his dad, Hot Rod Hundley, was on hand, and his father came upstairs. Somebody different sings "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." 7th inning stretch yesterday was Todd's father who sang it. And strike 3 call. Breaking ball there. Hundley struck out for the second time. That's 3 for Kerry Wood.
Todd's got to be thinking to himself, this guy's for real. He has broken off some nasty breaking balls to Todd Hundley. We'll check the sequence right here. First fastball, the swing and the miss. And then the second fastball, the swing and the miss. Kerry Wood misses with a pitch on the 0-2 pitch. Todd fouls it back. And now, Uncle Charlie. Yowzer.
Baerga fouls that one outside of first base. 1-1 count on Carlos. Baerga picked up a single his first time up. Kerry Wood has thrown 1 complete game. 9-5 mark. Off speed outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Heading up a Chicago pitching staff with some pretty good starters right now.
About 120 pitches is what Jim Riggleman says is about as many as Wood will throw. At 122 his last start when he beat Greg Maddux 3-0.
So tough for a manager oftentimes in this situation. Nobody beats the Wiz scoreboard for you. And he walked him. Second walk given up by Wood. Baerga is on at first. 64 pitches have now been thrown by Kerry Wood. Games to be played tonight in the National League. The Giants wondering what's going on as they fall further behind in every race.
Gary, we've talked about it many times. I personally am not a big proponent of pitch count, but I think with a young pitcher like Kerry Wood, it makes a lot of sense. Got a developing arm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what makes it so hard, I was going to say, for a skipper like Jim Riggleman in this case. A chopper by Husky towards short. Blauser, the flip. Alexander, the relay, not in time. They'll get the force out on Baerga at second base. 6-4 there. Husky reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 down. You want to win. I mean, you got a shot at both your division and a wild card spot. And the Chicago Cubs, obviously, long time between postseason plays. Love to be there. Of course, at second, Alexander relay really had no chance there. So how much do you use a Kerry Wood, who you know is going to make such a big difference for you? As Timmy says, you want to win, but you also got a future. Hit hard to second base. Alexander's there. Lopez is retired, and so are the Mets. No runs, no hits. The base runner left on. Pitcher's duel as expected. Mets on top. Back after this from Omni Point.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Chez Joseph.
Really? That place is always booked.
Well, Shay's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get $179 Ericsson 388, the latest in digital wireless, for $49.
The Toyota Land Cruiser. For nearly 50 years, its capability has been legendary, unbeatable, until now. Toyota's first V8 Land Cruiser has arrived with an all-new 230-horsepower V8 engine and a smoother, quieter, more luxurious ride. More room inside. More convenience features than ever before, and a look that says roughing it doesn't get any smoother than this. The all-new V8 Toyota Land Cruiser. Get the real picture at your Toyota dealer now.
Both these men have athlete's foot. But only one used Desinex, the soothing cure. Desinex has a dual-action formula that calms the itching and cools the burning. And Desinex is clinically proven to kill the fungus dead, so your feet feel good while they heal. Got athlete's foot? Get dual-action Desinex. Soothes while it cures.
Another big house on hand for the Sunday afternoon game at Wrigley with the Mets on top. Today's game being brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz, your total home entertainment center. And by your local Greater New York Toyota dealer. Toyota, every day. Gary Thorne, Tim McCarver, and all of our crew on hand here on a beautiful day in Chicago. The New York Mets really have lucked out on this road trip weather-wise, both in Milwaukee and here in Chicago. The weather has been unseasonably cool for this time of the year. I suspect today it was probably about 78 degrees or 80 maybe, but there is no humidity. I mean, it's just perfect weather. Generally this time of year in Chicago, it is sweltering.
Muggy off the lake. This is more like Southern California weather.
Yeah, it is. Just like San Diego.
Yeah.
And they have drawn great crowds here for these games, 40,000 plus for the doubleheader game yesterday and here again today, just packed. And the pitch is taken down low by Hernandez. Jose Hernandez leads it off here in the 4th inning. He flied out to left his first time up. Hernandez has been a hot hitter, 5 for his last 14. Rick Reed has walked 1, struck out none, misses there, 2-0 count. Reed has surrendered just 1.3 walks per 9 innings, 3rd best in the league. He just does not fall behind hitters. Has got tremendous control. As a result, is looking for his 12th win against 6 losses here in this game today. Mets are leading this series against Chicago 5 games to 3 for the year. Foul back by Hernandez. Leaving the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The rare times that Rick Reed falls behind the batters, he can throw the outside corner strike and not throw that cookie down the middle of the plate.
So very confident about his ability to do that. 2-2 delivery, jammed him. Nasty pitch, lucky to foul that one off. 2-2 still. Reed has not struck anybody out. He has 104 strikeouts in 141 innings coming into the game. But he relies on keeping the ball in play. That fastball, curve, and a changeup. 2-2 delivery. And strike 3 called on the outside corner. Gets the strikeout his first. One down here in the 4th inning.
That's just a remarkable job by a guy who has made the most of his talent. Runs the count to 2-0. A 2-0 fastball on the outside corner. 2-0 fastball outside corner. Then he came inside with the fastball and then threaded the needle again away, and Hernandez took it. Strike 3.
After he'd almost busted his wrist on the inside pitch.
Right.
One down. Sammy Sosa grounded out his first time up. Takes the pitch away for a ball. Sosa's split the home runs up pretty good. He's had 22 of them here at Wrigley. 15 on the road. Has not had a home run in his last 4 games. 2 for 11 against the New York Mets in this series. Fouls that one back to even the count at a ball and a strike.
Funny, Gary, you know, when you walk around that Chicago dressing room and you see Sammy Sosa with his shirt off, he looks like some Adonis. I mean, you talk about a guy who is put together. He's got about a 32-inch waist. Strong as a bull.
Drills that one to the gap in left center field. That'll go to the ivy. One off and out warning track. Sosa's on his way to second base. Sammy Sosa in with a double. 17 two-baggers on the year.
Fans in the bleachers used to do that, the bowing, when Andre Dawson played here, his fabulous career. And now they're doing it for Sosa. Rifles run into left center, his 17th double of the year.
Represents the potential tying run in this ball game. Cubs with just their second hit. Grant Brown had a leadoff double to start the game. Sosa gets the double off Rick Reed with 1 away in the 4th. Now Mark Grace. High to him and inside, ball 1. Grace has always been a great hitter, particularly here at Wrigley. He leads the club in doubles at 23, and he uses the gaps. Mark Grace is a tremendous gap hitter. And Wrigley Field has always been the friendliest of confines. Throw to second. No play there with Lopez getting in. This year, Mark Grace has continued those numbers. He's batting .342 here at Wrigley, .305 on the road. Out of there with a left groin that's bothered him for some games. They need his bat in the lineup, obviously. 1-0 towards second base. Viagra on the outfield grass. Grace is retired. 2 down. Sosa moves over to third.
And again, you do not see Rick Reed throwing a ball in the middle of the plate. Piazza's sitting inside. He goes even farther inside. The slider jamming Grace. And even though Sosa moves to third, that's a key out for Rick Reed.
You get Grace out, who hits over 300 with runners in scoring position, and you bring up Henry Rodriguez, who you got a much better chance at, 238 with runners in scoring position. 2 down. He grounded out his first time up. Sosa at third, and the pitch is inside for a ball. Rodriguez is in a bit of a slump right now. He's not had a hit in his last 10 at-bats. He has not done well getting that runner in from third in these situations. 1-0 from Reed. In the dirt. Good block by Piazza. 2-0. Rodriguez has had a home run in his career off Rick Reed. 3 for 11. 3 for 12 now off Reed. One of those hits being the long ball. 2-0 to him is popped up. Hundley in left field. He's got it. Good job by Reed again. No runs. Base hit. Runner left on at third. Mets able to protect that lead. Back to Wrigley after this from Ford.
a scene that's been repeated over and over again at your Tri-State Quality Ford store. Wallets being stuffed with the big money saved with low 1.9% financing that you can get on Ford Explorers. And it's all going on at the Fatten Your Wallet sales event. So hurry in today, and you can get low 1.9% financing on 98 Ford Explorer and save some serious dough. It's your Tri-State Quality Ford store's Fatten Your Wallet sales event. Better hurry in, because it all ends soon.
How do you create a room that says, wow? See a Benjamin Moore dealer. That's how. Benjamin Moore is the brand professionals trust. It goes on easy in all the colors of your imagination. So if you can dream it, you can live it. And you can say, wow, for years to come. Benjamin Moore. Best paint, best results.
Caught in a sea of changing rates and offers, choosing the right calling plan can be a daunting task. Bell Atlantic is here to help. By first listening to your needs, then analyzing your calling patterns, Bell Atlantic will help you select the local and regional toll calling plan that best fits the way you call. For your home or your business, take it through someone who knows these waters. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
Mets getting their run on the home run by Brian McRae in the third inning. The solo shot off Kerry Wood. Only a couple of hits off Rick Reed so far. Two have been stranded in scoring position by the Cubs on the two doubles they've had from Brown and Sosa. Kerry Wood goes back to work here against Rick Reed, who grounded out his first time up. 6 for 42 as a hitter for the New York Mets pitcher, and the fastball is taken away. Ball one. 1-0 Mets. Chicago Cubs have certainly taken advantage of Wrigley Field this year, as they've put up 36 wins and 20 losses here at home this year. They are 4 games under 500 on the road, 22 and 26. So the old friendly confines issue has been very true for Chicago this year. Ground ball back to Wood off his leg. Underhand flip. Reed retired. Let's take a look at our new Dodge quiz from Wrigley on this Sunday afternoon. 53 Hall of Famer was traded along with Joe Garagiola and 2 others to the Cubs for 6 players on $150,000. Can you name him? 1953 Hall of Famer.
Kerry Wood having the wherewithal to scoop with his bare hand. He knocks it down. Now watch the scoop to get Rick Reed.
Helps himself defensively. Now Brian McRae, who had the home run off him. Fastball strike on the inside corner. What a road trip this has been for Brian McRae. He's batting over 400 on this road trip. He's now had 12 hits in 28 at-bats on the road trip. 6 runs scored, 5 doubles, 3 RBIs. One of the best segments, short segments of the season McRae has had all year. 1-1 count on him. Mets continue to struggle in this leadoff spot. They do not have a pure leadoff batter. McRae and Alfonso have been there primarily. Brian's hitting only .235 in the leadoff spot and .277 elsewhere in the lineup. Edgardo Alfonso .226 in the leadoff spot and .294 anywhere else.
The Mets have had 10 different players leading off this year. By far the most in the majors.
2-2 delivery up high to him. Bobby Valentine has kind of juggled the lineup depending on who's pitching and who's hot as to who gets to be in that leadoff spot. 3-2 count. Wood delivers to McRae. That one to left field. Hit pretty good. Rodriguez backing up. Warning track. Short of the ivy. 2 down.
We talk about it so often, folks. We're going to show you the difference in a 3-1 swing. That was Brian McRae's home run. The 3-1 swing his last time up. He knew he was going to get a fastball and smoked it. And then the 1-1 swing, an even count. And look at this swing. That's the difference in two swings, and it's determined by the count, which is very, very, very important.
Saw that swing. That's what we refer to protecting the plate in the swing. That's what that last one was. Trying not to be struck out. 2-0 count on Lenny Harris. 2 down, nobody on. Foul back, 2-1. Kerry Wood has struck out 3 and walked 2 so far in this ball game. First appearance for the 21-year-old right-hander against the New York Mets. Mets trying to make this a most impressive 6-1 road trip. With a victory here today. Left field, Rodriguez is playing shallow. Blauser, the shortstop, over. He'll haul it in. So Wood retires the side in order. McRae's homer still standing up. Back after this from Toyota.
The Toyota Land Cruiser. For nearly 50 years, its capability has been legendary, unbeatable, until now. Toyota's first V8 Land Cruiser has arrived with an all-new 230-horsepower V8 engine and a smoother, quieter, more luxurious ride. More room inside. More convenience features than ever before, and a look that says roughing it doesn't get any smoother than this. The all-new V8 Toyota Land Cruiser. Get the real picture at your Toyota dealer now.
Every beat of my heart, every breath I take, you're the only one. What more can I say? Oh, girl.
The amazing Sony Mini Disc is the digital way to record your music on a disc and personalize your favorite mix.
Look at you.
Sony MD lets you digitally record your favorite music and take it with you wherever you go.
Every time I look at
Make it with MD. Available at Nobody Beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
It's a scene that's been repeated over and over again at your Tri-State Quality Ford store. Wallets being stuffed with the $1,500 cash back that comes with Ford Windstars. It's all going on now at the Fatten Your Wallet sales event. So hurry in today and you can get $1,500 cash back or 0.9% financing on a 98 Ford Windstar, the minivan with a 5-star crash test rating. It's your Tri-State Quality Ford Store's Fatten Your Wallet sales event. Better hurry in, because it all ends soon.
Will LL's breakup lead to a total breakdown?
I've never seen the brother so low.
Yeah. In the house.
Monday at 8, only on UPN 9.
Well, both Timmy and I looking forward to this matchup for about 2 weeks now, since we knew what the rotation was going to be. And Tim McCarver, it has not been disappointing.
It really has not been. Rick Reed has given up 2 hits, and Kerry Wood has given up 3. The only damaging hit in this ball game, a solo home run by Brian McRae, his 15th of the year, and it's 1-0 New York here in the bottom of the 5th. Jeff Blauser, the shortstop, flied to right his first time up. Strike 1 to Blauser. Unique ability of Rick Reed to sometimes hit that front corner of the plate. A lot of times when you're watching, Piazza catches the ball off the plate. He's off the plate again. This one just missing. 1-1 to Blauser. Outside, 2 balls and a strike to Jeff Blauser. Play 2-2 to Blauser. Rick Reed has gone from a former replacement player to a pitcher that's impossible to replace.
First replacement player to go to an all-star game, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
How about that? Where would the Mets be without the innings, quality innings, he brings to them?
Still 2-2 to Blauser.
The sailboat coming. There it goes. What a shot. That's what we see from the press box, looking out over the buildings to the lake.
Strike 3 call, and that's what we were talking about. That fastball from Reed that gets the front corner, but Piazza catches it outside.
Watch where this hits the front part of the plate.
I'm telling you.
Right on. I mean, just there's a fine line there, and he puts it right on that line.
The width of a thread. Tyler Houston walked, was picked off. First time up, fly ball left field. Hundley backed up, now in, makes the play. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. That'll bring up Manny Alexander, the second baseman, and this is a very, very important out right here.
Want that pitcher leading off.
Tight ball game. If Alexander makes an out, then Kerry Wood is forced to lead off in the 6th inning. Or if he gives up a few runs in the 6th, perhaps a pinch hitter. 1-0 Mets here in the 5th. Breaking ball outside, ball 1. Strike on the corner, 1-1. Breaking ball, line to center field, base hit. Backhanded by McCray, and Alexander realizing he can't take a chance here. Stops at first. That'll bring up Kerry Wood. Only the 3rd hit of the ball game for Chicago.
One of the things to remember here at Wrigley Field, so often we talk about the home runs that are hit here in the friendly confines, and it's thought of as such a small ballpark. But for a center fielder defensively, this is not a small ballpark. The center fielder playing here has a lot of ground to cover. And Brian McRae does it, as Timmy said, as well as anybody for all the years he played here. He went over that time and cut a ball off that could easily have gotten through and been a double, because you've got long gaps out there. They're very wide, 400 to dead center, 368 in the power alleys. And you get a ball like this, if this gets by your center fielder, it's guaranteed a double and maybe a triple. And you've got a lot of room to cover from gap to gap. He does it well.
Kerry Wood fouls it away. 0-1 to Wood. He grounded to 3rd on a nice play by Lenny Harris. His only other time up. 1-0 Mets here in the 5th. Did he hold up? Yes, says C.B. Buckner. 1-1 to Wood. On the corner. Sounds redundant. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wood.
Even to the opposing pitcher, he's throwing the ball on the corner.
Breaking ball, Reed to end it. 1-0 Mets after 5. Back after this from McDonald's.
This week, the paper will be extra heavy from all the savings at McDonald's. Just look for these great money-saving coupons. You'll get big deals like a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwich for just 99 cents. So look for the insert in your Sunday paper or mailbox. Did somebody say McDonald's?
So, I read an article that says they think about it every 8 seconds.
I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like the only thing Dave ever wanted.
They have one-track minds. It must be something biological or genetic.
Men, they're all the same.
Hey. You read my mind.
This is
is your wallet before you buy a new Ford. This is your wallet after the Fatten Your Wallet sales event going on at your Tri-State Quality Ford store.
What the heck does that mean?
It means you can reap huge savings on a full line of Ford cars and trucks, like Ford Escort, the one J.D. Power & Associates ranks best compact car in initial quality.
Big cash back?
You betcha. $1,000 back on Escort or low 0.9% financing. Wallet-fattening deals on everything.
Wow!
Only at your Tri-State Quality Ford store for a limited time.
Do it for your wallet.
This week, the paper will be extra heavy from all the savings at McDonald's. Just look for these great money-saving coupons. You'll get big deals like a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwich for just 99 cents. So look for the insert in your Sunday paper or mailbox. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Believe in the 98 Mets. Show up at Shea on Saturday, August 22nd for Thai Beanie Baby Day. All kids 14 and under will get Curly the Beanie Baby free. Curly comes with his own commemorative card, making this Curly a very special Beanie Baby. Don't miss the action as the Mets meet the Arizona Diamondbacks. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
In the town that Billy Sunday could not shut down, Rick Reed is shutting down the Chicago Cubs 1-0 after 5. His opponent, Kerry Wood. And John Olerud will lead it off for the Mets here in the 6th inning. Breaking ball in the dirt. That's the first ball thrown in the dirt by either pitcher today after 5 innings. 1-0 to Olerud. Outside and high, ball 2, 2-0. Brian McRae's 15th home run of the year on a 3-1 low fastball, the only scoring today. Outside corner, 2-1 to Olerud. Inside, 3-1 to John. John a single and 2 trips. 3 hits for the Mets, 3 hits for the Cubs. 1-0 New York. Outside, so Olerud walks. As we take a look at that new Dodge quiz question of a half inning ago in 1953, this Hall of Famer was traded along with Joe Garagiola and 2 other players for 6 players and $150,000. Our partner, Ralphie Boy. Ralph Kiner. Ralph probably watching the ball game this afternoon, either from his apartment in Greenwich. No, in Cooperstown. That's right. Gosh,
Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Hall of Fame Sunday, exactly. Don Sutton, Lee McPhail, Jaime Herrin. Our congratulations to everybody inducted today. Bullet Joe Rogan, Gorgeous George Davis. Way outside, 2-0 now to Mike Piazza. So Olerud walks on a 3-1 pitch, and now it's 2-0 to Piazza. Mike 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
And Wood is missing by a lot now in this inning, starting these hitters out. He's been way off the mark. Kerry Wood, as we said, this is the one that has walked 5 in each of the last 2 games. His season high in walks at the major league level, 6.
Outside, 3-0. I do not think Piazza will be swinging here. The Wood's thrown 7 out of 8 balls to open the 6th inning. We'll see. Nope, taking all the way. 3-1 now to Piazza. Center field. Blauser out. Nobody can get to it. Olerud will stop at second base. And Piazza with a broken bat single to center. Hit number 4 for the Mets.
Well, with the outfield playing way back, Rodriguez in left and Brown in center, we're about as deep as you'll ever play here at Wrigley. There's no way they were going to get to this broken bat. Dying quail. And right off the trademark, nobody really was even close to this. In that Bermuda Triangle, a base hit for Piazza.
They are having a problem in the Chicago area with the Asian longhorned beetle. It's attacking trees in the Ravenswood area. It's been in the headlines here. Well, that was a Kerry Wood fastball that attacked the bat of Mike Piazza.
And ate it up.
That thing's history. But Piazza with a single to show for it.
Piazza's the only Met to have faced Wood because the Dodgers had played against them, and Piazza had gone 2 for 5 off him, including a home run. So Mike Piazza's added another single to that today. 3 for 8 and a home run off Wood.
Todd Hundley has struck out twice. Wood has saved his best pitches to Hundley. He has struck him out on 2 wicked curveballs. So we'll see how he goes here. There's a strike with a fastball. 0-1 to Hundley. Nobody out, 2 on, 1-0 Mets here in the 6th. Breaking ball, fly ball, left field, Rodriguez. And 1 away as Hundley fails to move up the runners, and that'll bring up Carlos Baerga. So Todd Hundley 0 for 3. As Rodney Myers recently recalled from the Iowa Cubs, AAA affiliate of Chicago, in Des Moines.
Cubs, like so many teams, the middle bullpen has been a problem for them, still is. They can get their starters deep and get to Beck, who's been outstanding this year. They'll win ball games, but you get to the middle of that bullpen and you've got a chance to beat them.
Rod Beck second in saves to Trevor Hoffman in the National League. Baerga, left field. Back is Rodriguez near the wall. Makes the play. Piazza had rounded second. And he retreats to first as Olerud goes back to second base, 2 outs.
I told you earlier when Todd Hundley had one hit like that out there, this is a tough play. This is a home field advantage for Rodriguez in left field. Knowing how to play this ball, how much room he's got, where he can go, got himself under that, and that's not as easy as Rodriguez made that look, because that wind is blowing that ball over towards that corner.
Butch Husky now with 2 outs. Olerud with a walk, Piazza with a single, and with nobody out, Hundley flied to left, and then with 1 out, Baerga flied to left. And the breaking ball in there to Butch Husky. Fouled away, 0-2 now to Butch. Breaking ball gets him. 4 strikeouts for Kerry Wood as the Mets fail to score in the 6th inning. It's 1-0 New York. Back after this from
Dodge. The new Dodge wanted to take the sport utility concept to a higher level. Enter the new Durango. Its best-in-class power, cargo space, and seating for up to 8 raise the bar considerably, as do its strongest-in-class frame and its stable, longer, wider stance. Dodge Durango, a higher form of sport utility, from top to bottom. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
Sizzler presents Invasion of the Giant Crabs. They're huge, a full pound.
Ooh.
But they have one weakness. The Giant Crab Feast, just $8.99, now appearing at Sizzler.
When your car needs service, the choices, just like today's cars, can be complicated.
Let Meineke put all the pieces together. Come on, Meineke, for brake systems, shocks, struts, and of course, mufflers. Because they're specialists, you always pay that great, low Meineke price.
At Meineke, you won't pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
The Toyota Land Cruiser. For nearly 50 years, its capability has been legendary, unbeatable, until now. Toyota's first V8 Land Cruiser has arrived with an all-new 230-horsepower V8 engine and a smoother, quieter, more luxurious ride. More room inside. More convenience features than ever before, and a look that says roughing it doesn't get any smoother than this. The all-new V8 Toyota Land Cruiser. Get the real picture at your Toyota dealer now.
Talking with Chip Kerry and Steve Stone next door, and one of the, this is chummy Wrigley Field. Things are very cozy here, and they suggested why not put in somebody who could perhaps bunt for Todd Hundley, and you know that's going to be the last at bat for Todd. Edgardo Alfonso goes in at third base, and Lenny Harris will be the left fielder. Different ways of playing it, but to me, if you don't let Todd Hundley swing there, you shouldn't even start him.
Wouldn't be in the lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, he gives you the potential for the pop, for the run.
Right.
That's why he's there.
Put the game out of reach.
Yep.
Well, Alfonso in at third. Lenny Harris goes to left, and the breaking ball to Brant Brown, is 1 for 2, is inside. One of the great things about this game, the discussions and the woulda, coulda, shouldas, all of the things that travel around with us and our jobs, and one of the fun part about the job. 1-1 to Brown.
Now, one of the problems for the Mets is in this kind of a ball game, you've got to take the guy you want in the lineup for the big bat out for defensive purposes. I mean, it's a tough call. Because if the Cubs come back and tie or take a lead, all of a sudden, Bobby Valentine has pulled out one of his big bats, and he doesn't have many in this lineup, that has a hard time scoring runs. But you got to make that decision, coupled with what do you want for defense out there at any given point in the game. And here he's trying to protect Rick Reed and the Mets 1-0 lead by putting Lenny Harris in the outfield. He's a better outfielder than Todd Hundley is.
Bobby did the same thing in yesterday's game with the Mets leading 1-0 on a John Olerud home run. He put Bernard Gilkey out in left field in the 6th inning. Brown fouls it away, still 2-2 to Brant Brown, the center fielder of the Cubs.
There's the forgotten Met right now, Timmy. Bernard Gilkey. What the Mets do, they've clearly tried to move him. He's got a big contract. He's not having a good year at the plate. He's the starter who all of a sudden is really out with Todd Hundley back.
Strike 3 called. Brown down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Reed. 1 out here in the 6th.
Rick Reed right on the money again. He has not faltered this year. I mean, he's not had really a bad game as far as locating pitches is concerned. It is amazing that he can pitch game after game with this kind of pinpoint control. That's what he has done.
The only truly bad game he's had this year was here at Wrigley Field, his first start. First start against the Cubs. It was his 2nd start of the year. But you're right. I mean, to getting rid of that start, I mean, he has been so consistent as the breaking ball is over to Jose Hernandez. 0-1 to Hernandez, who's 0 for 2 on the day. The breaking ball is high, 1-1. Bernard Gilkey is almost in the same situation now as Mel Rojas is from a regular player to a pitcher standpoint.
Rojas is a mop-up man now. Manager doesn't believe in him, doesn't dare to put him out there in key situations. Bernard Gilkey in a situation where somebody's not going to start, he's the one. He comes in for a defensive play, maybe. There's Rojas.
On the corner, 2-2 to Hernandez.
And the trouble is, if you're trying to move those players, every other team in baseball knows you've got 2 guys on your team who aren't doing much, and you really want to make a move to get some people here who will do more for you.
And Rojas has a heavier salary than Bernard Gilkey. Inside, full count to Hernandez. think there's any question that more teams would be seeking a guy like Gilkey than they would Rojas for a variety of reasons. Ball 4. So Hernandez draws a walk, and that'll bring up Sammy Sosa. Second walk of the ball game issued by Reed. Vance Gensana is the all-natural energizer. Find the energy. Feel your Gensana. Breaking ball in for a strike. 0-1. Another breaking ball. 0-2 to Sosa.
What a great call on that. I mean, he is looking for a fastball somewhere after he saw a breaking ball, so he's not ready for another off-speed pitch. And this has got outstanding movement. Watch this one come in. Catch the outside part of the plate.
Just misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sosa.
Well, that's what you were talking about, Timmy. After Sosa's seen 2 breaking balls, his bat mentally is slowed down, even though he didn't swing at either of them. So on that fastball, he's got no chance because he just can't adjust that quickly from the pitch he saw before to that one.
2 curve balls, then the fastball that just missed. Breaking ball outside, 2-2 to Sosa.
You saw where Piazza set up, how confident he is in Reed's ability to throw strikes. They're willing to put that pitch outside the strike zone and see if Sosa will chase. Watch where Piazza's set up, way outside the strike zone on this last pitch. And that's right where Reed goes. They want Sosa to chase. He doesn't. Reed figures he's good enough to come back in and get him on a 2-2.
There goes Hernandez deep to center field. And this ball is gone. Home run, Sammy Sosa. Number 38 on the year gives the Cubs the lead here in the 6th inning.
Twice with a curveball, but not the 3rd time.
Mark Grace, the batter. Inside, ball 1.
Oh, those walks. This is a curveball. Sosa was looking curveball and nailed it.
Left side, foul territory. Alfonso makes the play. How in the world that ball stayed in play, I'll never know. 2 outs.
Rick Reed, who has given up 13 home runs on the season, 8 of those to right-handers. This is the one Sosa hit. Sosa looking curveball. I mean, he's sitting on a curveball on a 2-2 count. Saw 2 curveballs first. Fastball, pitch way outside, then come back with a curveball again.
This one drilled right field. Not high enough by Rodriguez. Husky retrieves it in time to hold Rodriguez to a double. Well, Rodriguez with a double to right field, and that'll bring up Jeff Blauser with 2 outs. 2-1 Chicago.
This all started with the 1-out walk surrendered to Hernandez by a pitcher in Rick Reed, who averages 1.3 walks per 9 innings. And on this one, again, the Cub hitters, you sit on a pitch and you get it, as Rodriguez did there on the fastball. You drive it. And he was looking for a fastball and got it.
Cubs have 5 hits on the afternoon, 4 for extra bases, 3 doubles, big home run by Sosa. The other hit a single by Manny Alexander. Remember, we were talking about that Alexander base hit and how important it was to get Alexander out of there. But giving up that hit to Alexander, and sure enough, this inning is the inning the Cubs have taken the lead. Strike 1 to Blauser. Remember, we talked about the last inning when Rick Reed retired Blauser on strikes and Tyler Houston on a fly ball. Then he hung a breaking ball to Manny Alexander. Alexander got what appeared to be a harmless hit to center. He retired Kerry Wood. But then this is the inning they've scored 2.
Instead of having Wood leading off the inning, you ended up with Brown, the leadoff batter, leading it off. That's why it makes such a difference. I mean, because you're considering the fact that that pitcher should be an out, and almost always is.
And then if you retire the side the next inning in order, you've got Sosa hitting with nobody on base. And Reed working from the windup. And yet you wouldn't know it, Gary, unless you're at the ball game. You see the box score tomorrow, and you wouldn't know how this game is developing over the last 4 or 5 outs, how important that Manny Alexander out was. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Blauser.
This is a big run out there at second base right here.
Huge. Fly ball right field and playable as Husky back now in. Makes the play, but the Cubs take the lead on home run number 38 of the season for Sammy Sosa. Back after this from Jeep and Eagle.